Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Tanisha. It's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for being here today. So, better late than never, I suppose. I'm gonna do my first ever everything I knit and crocheted in 2024. So 2024 was the year that I started getting a lot more serious with my YouTube. And so pretty much everything I'm going to show you, I made into a YouTube video. I don't have like a large amount of things to show you, but I feel like everything that I will show you is very significant and was made with a certain purpose. I will link all of the videos down below in order. If you're interested in watching like sort of creative process of how I made each individual item. I wanted to also say that I'm going to be rating all of my items out of 10 in terms of like practicality and like how much I like it, how much I use it, how much, yeah, just stuff like that. Anyway, without further ado, we are gonna get straight into what I made in 2024. Let's go. I'm also going to be going in order, obviously. The first thing that I made in 2024 was these knitted sort of like colorwork hand warmers for my, it was supposed to be a gift for my husband for Valentine's Day, but it was just like a really quick sort of thing. And this is before I knew how to do the magic, what's it called? Magic loop, magic circle, something on circular needles, because these were, I had to knit them flat and then I had to join them with a seam like in the middle. They're a little bit small. They're too small for my husband. He doesn't wear them. Also, I kind of made them out of just like this random yarn that I found at like the grocery store. The type of yarn that I used was like, it's color changing. So one of these are a lighter color blue and the other is a darker color blue. So they kind of don't really look like they're meant to be a pair, but they're not super soft or anything. And they're a little bit tight, a little bit restrictive. I lost them for quite a while, actually. I'm pretty sure I lost one of them. It was like underneath the cupboard and it's just like there for months. So I actually thought that I wouldn't be able to show these, but I found them again. And now that I'm looking at it, it's actually kind of cute. I wish I knew how to do that magic loop, magic circle thing. I'm probably gonna give them like a 4 out of 10, 3 or a 4 out of 3.5. I'm gonna give them a 3.5 out of 10. Not horrible, but they're not my favorite. Also, most of the things that I will be showing you in this video, I usually don't follow patterns. I will let you know if I did follow a pattern and I'll link it right beside like where I linked the video. But the majority of the things that I'm gonna show you, I don't use a pattern. I have not used a pattern. I made this scrap yarn balaclava. Gotta be honest, I don't really wear it that much because it is just so bright and colorful. And also I made it with all this scrap yarn, and most of the scrap yarn at the time was acrylic, so it's not super soft or anything. I have worn it a few times, but honestly it's mostly just hanging up for decoration because it looks so cool. What I wish I did differently for this one is I wish that I used that same green that I used around the face area for the bottom. It just looks nicer. The blue kind of looks a little bit cheap. I did use a pattern for this one. I cannot remember what it's called. I'll pop it up on the screen. But I found the pattern on Instagram and I thought it was really cool. Yeah, I followed the instructions and it was like super easy. The hardest part for me was actually making the cord. I cannot remember how I made the cord. Unlike the pattern, because the pattern is crochet in moss stitch, I knit the ribbing around the face and I knit the ribbing around the neck because I just thought it would look nicer. When I was making this, it was a little bit weird for me because I remember I was recovering from like a sort of minor surgery, and so like I was stuck in the house for like a week and a half or something. And I had to just kind of like sit most of the time. And so I knew that I wanted to make something. I knew that I wanted to film a video as well. So I stumbled across this and it didn't require me to go out and buy any new yarn. So I thought it was perfect. Yeah, I highly recommend this pattern. It's very easy to follow. It also has like links to videos of like how to do certain steps, which is really good. I'd probably give this like the pattern itself is like a 10 out of 10, but my finished product, because it's all kind of scrap yarn, I'm probably gonna give it like I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. Okay, what was after that? Aha! This one. My next project was the Paul McCartney Magical Mystery Tour waistcoat. Before I show you how this like turned out, I actually made like the OG, the big brother, the Magical Mystery Tour knit sweater vest. So I made that not last year, the year before, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, then I realized that, okay, I knit that one, and now I need to make the crochet waistcoat because Paul McCartney also wore the crochet granny square waistcoat as well, which is what this is. This one turned out really, really good. I did not use a pattern or anything. I was just completely going by pictures and things. At this point, I had never made a granny square. All of these squares, I think there was I think there's 40 squares or something. They're all, pretty much all of them are different. So they're different color combinations, right? That's kind of what I was going for. And I'm pretty sure it took me like 2 or 3 months. I can't really remember, but I wasn't trying to get them done really quickly. I would just like I'd just take them on the go and do a few squares here and there. I love wearing it with a long sleeve, sort of flared out. For a good majority of all of my projects in 2024, I really wanted to show that you can make things without having to spend a lot of money and just by using what you already have. Sure, there are certain projects that you will need specific things, but in a lot of the projects that I did in 2024, they were used with yarn that I already had from other projects. So anyway, basically my point was I used a hook and yarn that was probably a little bit too big for this project because I think that in the original picture, the squares needed to be a lot smaller. So I probably needed to use like a 2.5 hook or something, but I used a 4. And so the squares were a lot bigger. I don't know, it turned out fine. Like you can't really notice that, but if I had to do it again, I think I would definitely use a smaller hook and smaller yarn. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 100%. Technically, I should be giving it a 9.5 or something because it's like, it's not exactly like the original, but I do not care. I love it so much. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. This is my favorite patch, the yellow, blue, and orange. It's my favorite patch. I don't know why. So my best performing video of 2024 was I crocheted for 24 hours straight, and I wasn't kidding, straight. In that video, I made 3 things. Actually, I might go in order of what I made on in the day. So firstly, in that video, I made these cute little hand warmers. They are basically, for one, I did 2 granny squares, and then I did knitting on the bottom and a little bit on the top. And then I left the thumb hole. Somebody said, I think someone on TikTok said that it reminds them of Neapolitan, how do you say that? Neapolitan ice cream.
Here's some info about Neapolitan ice cream.
Oh, I said it right. And while I was making this, I was like, I didn't even realize that because it's brown, pink, and white. That's actually so cute. They turned out to be a little bit too big. I also lost these, I'm pretty sure. They were hidden way deep in my pajama drawer or something. They're really soft and really warm, and I have no complaints about them. Maybe they're just a little bit too big, so I might give them a 9 out of 10. These ones are a 9 out of 10. Next I chose to make this little black vest that I wanted to just fill with all these different swirls. And wow, I did not realize how long these swirls would take. And yes, I haven't fixed up any of the loose ends because who wants to do that? I've worn this a few times in some other videos. Other than that, not really. I love the way it looks. It's super, super groovy. It fits, it's nice and snug. My only problem with it is that because of all the surface crochet, it's made it really stiff. The front of it is really, really stiff. It's not very flexible anymore. I definitely want to make a sweater using this. And I think that because this is all acrylic, I think that if I use a more flexible, softer yarn, something like alpaca or something, it will definitely flow a little bit better. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. The last thing that I made right at the end when the sun was rising is my fluffy pink balaclava. I love this thing. This thing, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It is so warm, it's so soft. It was super, super quick to make as well. I think I used it's either a 6 or a 7mm hook, so pretty big one. And I really like this yarn that I just randomly picked up at like my grocery store. I think I made it a bit too long, and so when I wear it, it gives me a very round sort of Martian spaceman sort of look. But yeah, 10 out of 10. It's super soft. I love layering it under a hoodie and it's just peeking out of the sides. It looks really cute. By far, I'm not gonna go into specifics, but by far the most expensive project that I made in 2024 was this baby alpaca, dark green, light green striped crochet sweater. So I made this for my husband for his birthday. It is so soft and so warm. Like, no regrets on buying the baby alpaca. If I look different, it's because it's been like 3 days and I had to stop filming halfway through that afternoon, kind of suddenly. We're back and we're gonna finish the rest of this video. I knew that I wanted to make something for my husband. I think I only decided that at like the start of May, and so I had like a month to kind of like prepare something, organize something, but purchase all of the, I was about to say ingredients.
Paradise up above, if you would tell me.
And like, you know, purchase all of the yarn and stuff that I need to make it. His favorite color is green, my favorite color is green, and so I wanted to make him a green, something really cool that's green. And so I decided to do a crochet sweater, crochet jumper, because that was just the quickest thing that I could, you know, I thought that he would get a lot of use out of it. I feel like maybe someone can feel like very comical wearing it because it's like, you know, it's kind of like it's like what a cartoon character would wear or something. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like, I don't know. It just gives like Scooby-Doo, just major Scooby-Doo vibes, which are like I said, I don't really mind, but I feel like it can look a bit funny because it's just got such distinct stripes, and it's like, what do you even wear with that? He hasn't worn it too much because it is extremely warm. So we haven't, well, last year we didn't really have any days that were like super cold, and so he only wore it a handful of times, and it's really heavy, really soft, extremely good quality. Another thing about this thing is that it's starting to peel a lot. The fuzziness of the different colors are kind of like starting to blend together, if that makes any sense. I'm just gonna show you really close up. It's like, can you see all that fluffiness? Right? The more you wear it, the more, like especially under the arms, and around like the wrists and stuff, you get like all these little fluffy balls stuck to your, like underneath your undershirt, and there's a lot of static. It's actually sticking to my clothes right now. But like, you know, it's good quality, so that doesn't really bother me too much. I haven't blocked this, by the way. I don't even think I need to block it necessarily because it would just become bigger than it is. So I'm just gonna leave it for now. I did knit the ribbing for the cuffs, the wrist cuffs, and also the bottom band because I just like the way knitted ribbing looks a lot better than crocheting. That was kind of, I'm pretty sure that was kind of like a last minute decision. So I would definitely give this one a 10 out of 10. Definitely going to be using baby alpaca yarn again. I feel like this would be really nice to use for babies' clothes, or not clothes because they can just be wary. It's very warm. You don't want to be like, you know, make sure that your child doesn't overheat. You want to make them like a little knitted or a crochet cardigan. That would be so cute. Then after that, I made a little flower crown headband. Where is it? You know, that's what it is. I'm just gonna hold it over here. If you are subscribed to my channel, you would probably notice that I haven't actually made a video on this, but I have all of the footage and I am planning on uploading it very late. I made this to wear to a 1-year-old's party because they were having like this fairy sort of, what was it called? Happily ever after sort of theme, magical, mystical creatures sort of theme. And I was like, what the heck? You know, can have some fun with that. And I went as an elf. Yes, I went as an elf. I bought like some elf ears. on eBay. They turned out okay. Pretty sure I made this like 2 days before the actual party. I made this pretty much within a day. And then the next day I was busy making cupcakes for the party because that was like my gift. This is how that flower crown turned out. This is the first time that I've ever made flowers. And yeah, those really big purple flowers, they took me a really long time to do. I don't know, I feel like a lot of the details in this crown were lost because it wasn't made with like little petite sort of like 3-4 ply. It was just like whatever I had laying around the house. I used like an average sized hook, and so everything's kind of bulky. You can tell that they're flowers, but like I feel like maybe from far away it's like, what is that? What is that on her head? I don't know, it just feels, it's not my favorite. It turned out nice and it matched really well, especially when I put the ears on and like did my makeup and stuff. Like, I don't know, like I feel like you can't tell what it is, you know what I mean? But I really do like the trailing sort of leaves with like the little flowers that I attached. I really, really like that. I think that was the first time I've made flowers. The first time I've made leaves, which was super, super easy. I ended up using like a piece of, you know how you can buy those like fake flowers from IKEA? So I pretty much just put like a solid piece of that, like a stem from a fake flower, and then cut off the side just so that it's like got this sort of, I needed something solid to put all the flowers on so that they weren't like flopping down, you know? So, you know, it turned out it did its job, it looked cute. I think I'll give it like a 7. But in the future, if I ever make flowers again, I'm definitely going to use a much smaller hook and smaller yarn. These are all my scrunchies. If you want a quick, like literally 2-hour project, scrunchie. Scrunchie. Even if it's not for yourself, scrunchie, okay? But like crochet scrunchie. The knit ones took me quite a bit, so I'm pretty sure this is the same material as my balaclava that I showed you before. It was just like, it was a whip, so it was just like something that I had done in the round and then I joined the edges. Gotta be honest, I have not used this one because it's just too big. So that one probably gets like a 1 out of 10. This one also is, I think the elastics that I used weren't strong enough. So this one doesn't really wrap around my head either. But I do like the colors. I give it like a 5 out of 10, but I haven't really used it. These two, the crochet ones, I love them. I love them so much. And I have used them so much. They're so like, I feel like there's such a statement little thing that you can make. I definitely want to just start making a whole bunch of different colored ones. I also want to make small ones because I like having my hair in like 2 little braids. Green one was made with some of the yarn, the alpaca, baby alpaca yarn that I had left after that striped green jumper. And then this one was just like random red that I had. I wore this around Christmas time. I love them. 10 out of 10. Crochet ones, 10 out of 10. What I made next was my second most viewed video of 2024, using AI to crochet 2 pieces of clothing, right? So the whole idea was to use the generative AI tool on Instagram to come up with like pictures, just random pictures of like crochet stuff. And it came up with these 2 that I picked in the end, these 2 pictures. And so I've got the yellow vest and I've got the purple top. I think that I was genuinely surprised at how close I got with the purple top. The purple top turned out really, really nice. I've never crocheted a top before. Sadly, they are made with acrylic, so they feel absolutely awful. And so I haven't worn them. The yellow one, the shape is really weird. And the high, just the really strong yellow looks super, super cheap, and so I have not worn that. The yellow one, I really liked how the granny squares turned out, but like just the overall shape and stuff, it wasn't really too accurate. It was a real struggle learning how to put all of these squares together to make like a vest sort of shape. And so I feel like maybe that's why the shape is a bit funny, because I was like, just kind of figuring it out as I went along. But the top was fairly easy. Like I kind of just started with bra cups and then made my way down to make the waist, then sleeves last. So the top was actually fairly easy-ish. I really like the scalloped edges on the purple top. I would probably give this purple top, like if it was a nice material, it'd be like a 9 out of 10. But it's not really nice material, so maybe I'll give this like a 8. This one like an 8 out of 10. This one, sadly, I'm just gonna give like a 5 out of 10. But combined, let's just combine them. I'm gonna give them I'll give it like a 6.5. The next thing I made was my beautiful little my crochet cake. So I made a crochet cake and a real cake for my 1000 subscriber video special. Wanted to make a cake, but then I also thought it would be really fun if I crocheted a cake, and so this is the first time I ever crocheted a cake. I just basically started with 2 circles and then I made like a cylinder side bit, joined them all at the side, and then I made a whole bunch of raspberries and some little leaves. That's basically it, and I stuffed it with teddy bear stuffing. This is my little reminder of, you know, what I have achieved so far. And on that note, you know, consider subscribing if you're enjoying this content so far. I feel like 2025, I have so much more to give. I really want to be pumping out videos, you know, a lot faster and a lot more regular than last year. I'm so excited for 2025. So anyway, just putting that out there. Yeah, I made this for all the lovely 1000 plus that, you know, subscribe to my channel and have got me to this point in life so far. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much again. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I mean, I know that the shape is a little bit, it could probably be a little bit flatter. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Love it. Love it, love it. What did I make next? Please, guys, don't be shocked. He has suffered a little bit. So he's lost an eye, and he just lost another one. He's lost almost all of his teeth. I am such a liar. I did not end up sewing all of his teeth in. These are his teeth that I made out of clay. And I made yellow ones like that as well. But when I was filming that video, oh, so the most annoying thing happened. Let me just bloody show you what he is first. He is a Beetlejuice sandworm. A massive one! He was very easy to make, but he took a long time to make. So, anyway, all of his teeth, like I said, all of his teeth fell out because basically what happened was I filmed the whole process of me making him, and then my SD card pooped itself. It got corrupted. My mistake. I know, I've been told, don't worry. Yeah, all of my videos just got erased of him. And so I did a cute little dress up. I dressed up as Lydia Dietz. That was actually a lot of fun. That was a lot of effort. That was a lot of it. It was because of, I went to go see Beetlejuice 2, which I loved, by the way. That video was me finishing him up, and I basically just hot glued all of his teeth and his eyes in, and then I think I crocheted like eyelids. I've lost one of his eyes. I don't know where it's gone. It's probably somewhere in my room, and like almost all of his teeth have fallen out because, as I showed you before, all of his teeth have like little holes in them, and so I need to actually thread them through, which I didn't do, and now they've all fallen out. I am a liar. I'm so sorry. But I will get around to doing it one day. Obviously, I know that he's falling apart, but let's just pretend that's not the case. But I'm definitely gonna give him a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Love him. I just need to fix him up a little bit. And yeah, I made him for Halloween. Guys, we're down to the last 2 things for the year. I told you that it wasn't a lot. I knit a mood snake. This is Mo. This is Mo. I asked for name suggestions and I literally got 1. Which, by the way, thank you so much. That one person. Mo, it was actually Moses, but Mo for short. So I made this within a month. So I made a video called Making a Mood Snake for 30 days. So it's like a month. Basically, the idea was like a mood blanket slash book snake. It all started when I saw a video on Instagram of a lady making a book snake, and so it's basically the same thing. It's got stripes, but she's got like a little sheet, and it's like science fiction, romance, I don't know, I don't read all the different genres of like books. I know, I'm sorry. Anyway, if she had finished a book, she would crochet, I think she was doing crochet, she would crochet the color stripe that book, the genre of that book would be. That's literally all I saw, and I was like, oh, I don't read, and I don't want to make like a whole blanket. Some people make temperature blankets as well. And so I was like, why don't I just combine the two ideas? And that is how Mo came to be. I wish that I had, like, imagine how long he would be if I did like 2 months. He's a nice pastel color because I started him in spring, I'm pretty sure. Weirdly, I haven't seen anyone else make a mood snake. Can we make that a thing? Is it not adorable? And I don't like how lumpy he is, because it's just got teddy bear stuffing in it. But I was also saying that like I would have preferred him to be filled with like, not rice, but it's like, you know the inside of like a hacky sack? I guess it's kind of like rice or grains. I would have loved him to be filled with that, but I guess then he'd be like quite heavy. So he's squishy and lumpy right now. A lot of people were asking me if I used a pattern to make his head. Originally, I did start with a pattern. Do you all remember that little knit frog that everybody was making? I'm sure you do, right? I haven't made one personally, but I wanted to use the part where they make his head because he's got like ridges like near his eyes. I wanted to use that to make this so that it would look more like reptile, because I could not find any videos or anything that could show me how to make like a sort of more realistic looking head. And so I sort of started using a video that I found. I think I ended up doing like just on the edges here near his eyes, there's supposed to be like ridges or bumps, like you're supposed to twist it a certain way. I feel like it did nothing. So I don't know if it did anything. And then after that I was like, oh, stuff it. And then so I did the top part and then the like the belly, the mouth part separate, 2 separate bits. Decreased and increased as I went to try to make a sort of realistic mouth. So like the line is not exactly straight, you know, and then if you can see here, it's like I increased on the sides here, you know, just to try to make it look a little bit more like a realistic snake head, if that makes sense. I learned how to do, now I'm gonna get this wrong. I think it's the magic circle in knitting, where you can make a cylinder shape in the round using a long cable. So yeah, there's like a big streak of like a big seam on the side here because I didn't use like sock needles. I didn't use pointed double-ended needles. I used like one big long cable, and it's so hard to explain. I'm so sorry. I might link something down below. So yeah, 10 out of 10. I think he's my favorite project of the year. We are at the last thing that I've made. If you've watched my last video, you would know what this is. I made a Relaxon shirt for my husband as a Christmas gift. It turned out extremely nice. It was actually a really quick make, I think. So in my video, it was like, oh, am I gonna get this done before Christmas? I finished it at like 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve. It's this lovely green and then like an off-white, and it's cotton, and it's like an Egyptian cotton. I followed a video. I might link it down below actually. I followed a video and someone had put their whole process, like a whole tutorial on how to make the Relaxon shirt. So I didn't buy a pattern, I didn't follow a pattern, but I followed her video. It's using the granny stitch, and it's like you make like a hexagon shape. Yeah, it turned out really nice. It's a soft-ish. The only thing is that I used a hook that was like a little bit too big. I think I was meant to use like a 3 or 3.5, but I used a 4. And so the actual stitches are a bit spaced out. They're a bit more spaced out than I originally wanted them to be. So, you know, I feel like you'd have to wear something underneath for sure. This one, 10 out of 10. I think that is everything. That is everything I made in 2024. I just realized that I didn't even wish you a Happy New Year. So Happy New Year. I'm so sorry. Happy New Year. If you have stuck by me all of 2024 and maybe even before, I really, really appreciate you. Please trust me, I truly appreciate you. It makes me so happy that you stick around and you watch my videos and you know, you support me in my little corner of the internet, and you all have made it possible for me to be making these things and to be doing what I love. And like, not that you need a reason to make things, but it does help. It does help. And you know, it's kind of like a nice little excuse to like be like, I gotta go make something now, you know, like, and I have genuinely enjoyed making every single piece this year. Like I said, I know that, you know what, guys, I think that we need to normalize not making like a million different things in a year. Like, people work, people have multiple jobs, people have lives, people have families. Like, do not feel bad if you don't make a lot of things. Like, I know some people make like minimum 10 things a month or something like that. Like, that's insane to me. Like, I get if they're smaller things, but Happy New Year, happy 2025 once again. Thank you so much for watching and for watching any of my other videos. Let me know your thoughts. What's your favorite thing that you made in 2024? Let me know. I hope you have a lovely day and a lovely night wherever you are in this world. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay. Ta-ta, guys. Bye-bye.